Right now, inflation is finally cooling off, but don't think that just happened on its own. The Biden administration stepped up with the Inflation Reduction Act in 2022, making moves to bring those prices down. This law hit the big stuff: energy prices, prescription drugs, and even the federal deficit, all aimed at loosening inflation's grip on American families. And they're not stopping there. The government is also cracking down on monopolistic behavior and pushing for more competition. Ever heard of junk fees? They're out to squash those too. Meanwhile, the other side? Republicans voted against this very act that's bringing down costs. Their answer? Radical cuts to social programs that folks depend on. Thankfully, inflation declined from its peak at 9.1% to 2.4% now. But corporate greed? It's still running hot. Ever heard of shrinkflation? Smaller products, same high prices. PepsiCo's CFO even bragged about taking a little out of the bag. They claim it's all about efficiency, like the CEO of General Mills, producer of that cereal you eat for breakfast, said that smaller packaging is more fuel efficient in truck loading, as in more green. For real, they're loading up millions in profits while we get less for more. Here's the kicker: research shows that over half of recent inflation is driven by corporate profits. In 2021, families shelled out an extra $3,000 not due to costs rising, but because of corporate greed. And in 2022, that number climbed past additional $3,500. Yup, greedflation indeed. But the public is catching on. 63% of voters now believe big corporations are using inflation as an excuse to hike prices unfairly. And it's not just one side: Democrats, independents, Republicans, we're all fed up. Which brings us to these elections. What are both campaigns proposing to fight inflation? Kamala Harris is bringing bold ideas to the table. She's pushing for tougher regulations to stop price gouging and expanding competition in essential sectors like food and energy. Her plan is all about holding corporations accountable, making sure they can't exploit inflation again. Democrats are backing this with bills like the Big Oil Windfall Profits Tax Act and the Shrinkflation Prevention Act, aimed at giving consumers a break and strengthening antitrust laws to boost competition. Now Trump? He's got a different take. He's proposing new tariffs on foreign goods, but here's the thing: we, not foreign companies, will pay for it. Economists say Trump's tariffs could drive prices up by 6 to 9% per year and will cost the typical household from $2,600 to $3,900 a year. Not like he would care. On top of that, his immigration policies could lead to labor shortages, pushing costs and inflation even higher. Inflation on top of inflation. Total madness. But for real, this election, we get to choose. Are we going back and let the corporate greed running wild with tariffs, deregulation, and policies that push prices even higher? Or do we pick a path forward? One that holds corporations accountable, lowers costs, and will actually protect our wallets.
Vote!